Hi, I'm Teggin Summers, and I'm the Associate Director of ePortfolio Initiatives at Virginia Tech. I've chosen today to reflect on the prompt, How has technology enhanced learning for you? And I can think of two instances right off the bat where I've seen technology enhance learning. From one perspective, it is in the classroom, in classes that I've taught that have incorporated technology. And then the other perspective is a more personal impact of technology, both on myself as a learner and personally and professionally. So the example from when I was using technology in a particular course, I was a graduate assistant teaching writing at the University of Georgia. I was teaching first-year writing in an online environment, and we had a section on visual rhetoric as part of our 15-week course. And so we were studying images, web design. I think we even looked at hypertext poetry and just sort of a large range of sort of multimodal forms of rhetoric and rhetorical analyses of different multimodal media and things like that. And so one of the options that the students had, instead of just writing a paper where they performed a rhetorical analysis or talked about, wrote about a certain topic, they actually had the option to create a visual image and then do a rhetorical analysis of the image that they created. And that was an especially powerful experience for me as a teacher because I saw the students being much more creative and sort of accessing deeper levels of critical thinking through this assignment. As I think back about that, I think that there were some qualities to the fact that they were able to incorporate technology and create this visual image utilizing technology, that I think there were some aspects of this that were really helpful in sort of engaging them and facilitating sort of deeper learning and deeper critical thinking and those types of things. I think that through this assignment, through the ability to create this image, they were given more ownership over the assignment. So they were able to create sort of any image that they wanted to, and I saw sort of a unique and interesting spectrum of media and approaches to this assignment. I had some students that were more personal and artistic in the images that they created, and then I had some students that were maybe a little bit more practical. So for example, one student created a really interesting kind of distorted collage of her dorm room and then sort of rhetorically analyzed that. I had another student that applied a rhetorical analysis to a website that he was already working on, kind of designing for a job that he was also working at the same time while being a student. So, they were really able to have kind of that ownership over the assignment, make it meaningful to them. And I think that they really sort of engaged with it at that level. The assignment did have a practical purpose. So they were able to, they were creating this image with a purpose in mind behind it. And they were performing that rhetorical analysis on something that they had purposefully created. So it wasn't necessarily just go pick an essay in the book and write about it. It was actually, create something and then explain why you created it and how you made the decisions that you made in order to create it the way that you did. So that was, those were some really, that was a really interesting, powerful experience for me the first time we did it in class to see what the students came up with. And then the second thing that I just wanted to talk about was sort of the impact that technology has had on my life, both from a kind of a personal perspective and then how that kind of fueled and fed into my professional development. So when I was a graduate student getting a master's in English, I actually really disliked technology. I avoided it. I would write treatises against it. I found that it was very, I didn't understand technology. I didn't really know how to use it. It was intimidating to me, and it usually left me feeling inadequate in many ways. And so I was very against most forms of technology. And then as I moved on to my PhD program and I had to start thinking about the different areas that I wanted to concentrate on, I came back to technology, and I was looking at a humanities computing sequence of courses, and I started thinking about the fact that I needed to kind of face my fears, address the things that were really challenging to me, and sort of conquer them. And so I came into this humanities computing course from that perspective, and over the sequence of courses, my mind just sort of became much more open to everything that technology represents. For myself, my background being in rhetoric and composition, I came to this realization that technology ultimately can be reduced down to bits and bytes, and that the bits and the bytes and the zeros and the ones are in and of themselves language. And so I found this way to connect with the technology in a really meaningful way for myself, and that has ended up fueling the direction of my personal and professional development.